A very good evening to you. In his first cabinet meeting as First Minister, Humza Yousaf urged his government to be bold and honest with a focus on tackling poverty and boosting the economy. He described his new team as a changing of the guard and will deliver a full statement to Parliament after the Easter recess. The SNP leader is under fire for appointing the first ever Minister for Independence, with opposition MSPs branding it a waste of taxpayers' money. Our political reporter Laura Alderman's report contains some flash photography. A very good evening to you. The UK government has been criticised after it announced its future energy strategy, with campaigners saying it doesn't go far enough. But there was some good news for a proposed carbon capture site in the northeast, which was being described as best placed to get government backing. The Acorn project would see carbon captured and then stored under the seabed. Opposition parties say the blueprint lacks details, but ministers claim it will help reduce bills and meet climate targets. As Stephen Brown reports. Well, elsewhere, and Humza Yousaf's inaugural First Minister's questions had to be suspended several times today because of repeated interruptions by climate protesters. The presiding officer eventually had to clear the public gallery. Meanwhile, the Conservatives attacked the First Minister's reshuffle and Labour criticised his record on mental health services for children. Well, with more on this, here's our political editor, Colin Mackay. Campaigners fighting against the decision to close 6 libraries in Aberdeen held a final so-called read-in protest today. The council said the cuts are due to significant financial pressures, but campaigners claim they are vital services for the community, as Louise Hosey reports. NHS Highland has been reprimanded for a blunder after it shared email addresses of people thought likely to access HIV services. Almost 40 names were exposed. Investigators say it was a serious breach of trust, as Ian Ramage reports. Aberdeen is playing a starring role doubling for the Soviet Union in a film about the iconic video game Tetris. The new Hollywood movie launched globally on Apple TV this morning. Filming took place in several locations across the city 2 years ago. Zan Smith reports. Fantastic, I'm looking forward to watching that one. Well, finally to football, and it was a great result for Arbroath tonight. They beat Ayr United 2-0 underneath the Gayfield lights. Dale Hilson put the Red Lichties in front halfway through the first half before David Gold sealed the victory in the second. BT is tonight warning of problems with landline services, including the 999 service in Skye and Ullapool. The telecoms group say engineers are working hard to resolve the issue. They're warning anyone requiring emergency services should use a mobile phone or attend a police station, while officers will continue local patrols. No ferries will run between the mainland and South Uist for 6 weeks next month as CalMac continues to face challenges. It's blaming delays in the dry dock and technical issues. Well, meanwhile, the vessel Hebrides, which was hit by fire on Tuesday, is back in service. The ongoing problems in the islands were raised at Holyrood by concerned MSPs. Many bus operators are preparing to increase fares from this weekend. First Bus and Stagecoach are among those who have announced that ticket prices will go up from Sunday. They argue it's necessary to tackle the post-COVID recovery, lower passenger numbers and to invest in the future. Government funding to support operators during the pandemic ends today. Now, at this time of year, they're carpeting the countryside in a sea of yellow. But while daffodils are blooming, growers are facing a gloomy season. Sales are down by almost 40% thanks to some packers stockpiling flowers in cold storage for weeks, which is driving down quality, as Lynn Rankin reports. And finally, more than 300 objects from clothing to telephone boxes featuring tartan are now on display at a new exhibition at the V&A in Dundee. It's taken the team at the museum more than 3 years to collect the items from around the world. Tartan is the first major display for 30 years, focusing solely on Scotland's national fabric. And that's where we'll have to leave it for tonight. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.